Previously built highways had to be updated as the interstate highway system had strict design standards. These standards included limited access, a minimum of 2 travel lanes in each direction, 12 feet wide lanes, 10 feet paved right shoulders, and 4 feet paved left shoulders. Hey, slow down! Unlike the Autobahn in Germany, here in the United States, the interstate does have speed limits determined by each state. Here in Kansas, on Interstate 70, the speed limit is 75 miles per hour. Hey, slow down! Slow down! The highest interstate speed limit today can be found on some stretches of it in Texas, 85 miles per hour. However, for several years, Nevada and Montana didn't even have a speed limit on their interstates. So how are interstates numbered? Well, the current numbering policy goes back to 1973. While there are many exceptions, which you can see in this amazing video by CGP Grey, in general, major interstates are given 1 or 2-digit numbers, while shorter routes that go through major urban areas like spurs, beltways, and bypasses are given 3-digit numbers, where the last 2 digits match the interstate it branched out from. The major interstates going east-west get even numbers, and the major interstates going north-south get odd numbers. Odd-numbered routes increase going from west to east, and even-numbered routes increase going from south to north. Numbers divisible by 5 are meant to be big connecting interstates that carry a lot of traffic long distances north to south or south to north. Double-digit numbers ending in 0 are meant to be big connecting interstates that carry a lot of traffic long distances east to west or west to east. That said, there is no Interstate 50 nor Interstate 60, as that would have confused a bunch of people since there are U.S. highways with the same numbers that would pass near them. Yeah, that would be confusing. Again, CGP Grey goes into all the details in his video. Even Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico get interstate highway system funding, even though their highways are not, interstate highways. On 1 or 2-digit interstates, the mile marker numbering almost always starts at the southern or western line of a state's border. It's good to know in case you are lost and don't have your phone or GPS or a map or anything really. Not everyone welcomed the interstate highways with open arms. In places like San Francisco and New York City, activists fought back and were able to prevent some stretches from being built after they realized these highways would displace people from their homes and quite literally break up communities. However, these were the exceptions. Most of the interstates were still built as planned. When Congress first established the interstate highway system, it originally set aside $25 billion to help build 41,000 miles of highway over a period of 10 years. Yeah. It ended up costing more than $535 billion, adjusted for inflation, and took around 35 years to build. On October 17, 1974, Nebraska became the first state to complete all of its major interstate highways. But it wasn't until October 14, 1992, that the original interstate highway system finally was complete, with the opening of Interstate 70 through Glenwood Canyon in Colorado. By the way, this 12-mile stretch is considered an engineering wonder. They built it through giant mountains, for crying out loud. Also in Colorado is one of the highest tunnels in the world, named the Eisenhower Tunnel, of course. Since 1992, the interstate highway system has expanded, but in recent years, it has become more and more difficult to maintain. A huge wake-up call came on August 1st, 2007, when the Interstate 35 West Mississippi River Bridge near Minneapolis suddenly collapsed, killing 13 people and injuring another 145. The tragedy is still one of the worst bridge failures in American history, and we learned soon after that around 150,000 of the country's 600,000 bridges were considered, quote, structurally deficient or functionally obsolete. Ugh. Since then, the federal government has slowly been trying to upgrade these bridges. Today, the interstate highway system is more than 46,000 miles long. 1 out of every 4 miles driven in the United States are on interstates like this one. The interstate highway system has not only dramatically helped increase the development of commerce throughout the United States, but arguably also around the entire world. Shipping prices went down, travel times went down, suburbanization increased, road trips became more common. Not just road trips, in fact, tourism overall went up. Small towns became big cities. The trucking industry in particular sharply expanded. All of this was due to the interstate. In fact, the reason why some gas stations look like this is the interstate. And much of the population growth of the future is expected to be along or near, you guessed it, interstates.